Hostas are an absolute staple here in Danish gardens. They love our cool summers, they love the water that we get, and they really love shady spots. So here in our garden, it's not very big. We don't have hostas everywhere. We have them scattered in some pots here and there, but we do have them right here in this little flower bed that we made 2 years ago now, right up against our work shed where it does get plenty of shade. If you're watching this, chances are hostas are also one of your favorites. And that's why we're here today. We're here today to talk about when to cut them back. There are really two times. One is in the spring, and that's when we prefer to do it. Why? Because we really like the way they look right now here in the late autumn. We love that they turn golden and yellow. They really start to die back. We think these colors are absolutely incredible. And you'll notice that the different varieties are turning yellow and golden at different times. So it's really hard to say this week every year is when you cut them back. So we prefer to wait until the spring. You can see here that we still have some that are green. We have some that are being absolutely attacked by slugs. And that's another reason why you may want to cut them back in the autumn. If you wait until they go completely brown and completely sort of slimy, they're really finished, that's the best time here in the autumn. We do that in some of ours, and I'll show you here in a minute. You can do that because they can really attract slugs and snails. When they get all slimy and they stay on the ground, they're great for those sorts of pests that you don't really want in the garden. And you can see even here on some of ours that they're absolutely loving them already. So let's step up here to one that we have in the pot, and I'll show you how, if you want to cut them back in the fall, where to cut them. So you can see here, this is what I'm talking about when I say that it's really going to die all the way back. You can see there's still some new growth coming up from the bottom, but most of these leaves, you can see through them, right? So they've really started to just go to mush. And you'll notice here on top of the pot, what are they going to do? They're just going to lay here and make this soupy mess that slugs and snails are going to love to hang out in. And that's not what we want. So whether this is in a flower bed or here in a pot, if you cut them back in the autumn, this is what you're going to do. If you wait until the spring, let me go ahead and say that. If you wait until the spring and they fall off and they die back naturally, you can really just pick them up with your hand. They're all just going to pop right off come early spring, late winter. But if you want to do it here in the fall, especially to clean up and to protect yourself from an excess of slugs and snails, you come right into the very base of the plant, and all I'm going to do is snip them off. Boop. Just like that. I'm really just going to tidy them up, cutting as close to the ground. I'm going to leave a little bit, let's say a thumbnail. I have awful fingernails, by the way, but about a thumbnail above the ground. That's really all that I'm going to leave. And I'm just going to pull all of this. You can see most of it's really just coming away because it's already withered and it's just begging to be taken away. So this is what I'm going to be left with, more or less. Oops. Oh, got to take away that new growth. But there you go. Now I have a nice clean area that I can keep an eye on. Some of things, these are weeds. Some other things have self-seeded here around the pot. I can also go ahead and take care of that before the winter. And this can go in the compost bin. So if you're going to keep them in pots, be sure that you put them somewhere protected. This one's going to stay right underneath the sort of eaves of this work shed. Because if they're in a pot, they're really easy, especially when you have as much rain as we have here in Denmark. It's really easy to get too much water in there. So just keep them a little sheltered. One more thing about doing them in the fall, if that's what you want to do, and again, it's your garden. You can cut them back whenever you want. We wait until spring, but you do what you find best. If you do cut them back now, try to wait until they really start to do that slimy, just disappearing thing, because right now, while they're still green, you don't really want to cut them back. You want the roots to take in as much nutrition as they can from those leaves, because that's what's going to fuel next year's growth. So, just to sort of summarize everything up, 2 main times of year to cut back your hostas. One here in the autumn, when they've really started to disappear, turn brown, and finish, and another in the spring. So thank you so much for watching.